19th April till June 1st, and the results were on June 4th. This is something to highlight. The sheer population size, the sheer voter size. अमेरिकेचे जे voters आसात ते 24.5 crores for the coming presidential election at the end of November or December, whenever, another 6-7 months, थंय election जातलें. आनी ताका 24 काय 25 कोटी, म्हणजे आमचें 4 पटीन चड. आनी तें सेकंड लार्जेस्ट democratic election in the world. So you can imagine the kind of size and enormity that we are talking about. Okay, this is just a glimpse of what it was. 10 lakh polling booths, 1.11 crore polling staff, which required a lot of mobility, etc., etc. Most expensive poll will be this one. Chukun expected cost 1 lakh crore munzala. Last line. Actually, it is expected to cross 1.30 lakh crores. Almost twice as much in 2024. Zala astalo. You can't exactly calculate it because there are a lot of other things, including opportunity loss and so many other factors, mobility, expenses. For example, a single vial of ink is 174 rupees per vial. Just for information, because these are things which are not talked during the election process, either in press or electronic media by anyone. 174 rupees. That tube of ink, which you put on this thing, which is supposed to be indelible ink, Osho 27 lakh lagtat. 27 lakh vials are required in the country, and the manufacturer is just one in the whole country. Contract means you have no choice. Mysore Paint and Varnishes Limited is a company which was founded by Jai Chamraj Wadiyar, the king of Mysore, those days in 1937. I'm just giving you some idea of the enormity and kind of this thing. And they export to another 25 countries. So around the year they only manufacture this, and they have to be moved to all the places. Now the objective of the country is to ensure, I'm just digressing from the main subject, I'm just giving you the kind, so that all of us can understand the enormity of this kind of thing. The Constitution tells us that everyone should have the voting right, and we should reach everyone so that they can vote. There's one place in India, in Gir forest in Gujarat, where there is only one voter. And the nearest road to it is 22 kilometers from the main road. And he is in the Gir forest where the lions are there. His name is Mahant Udasin Maharaj. There's a small temple of Mahadev, and he is there. And all these 7-8 people go there to get his vote. There are places which are at a height of 15,000 feet in Spiti Valley, in Himachal Pradesh. 52 voters are there. Last time they were 48, this time they are 52. So these are the kind of things. So let's understand the enormity. Or there's a crocodile-infested island, so the local voters. It is 420 kilometers from Cochin. So I'm just saying, these are the kind of things, okay? So let's move ahead. In a nutshell, the entire story of 2024 elections. On your left, the 4 quadrants talk about the candidates. Please get it correct. On the right side are the 4 quadrants which talks about the winners. 543 winners, okay? Please, and I'll explain to you. I'll explain it to you very clearly, okay? So please see, on the left side we have only candidates, and we are talking about 8,360 candidates totally in this entire election, out of which 1643, which is 20% candidates had criminal cases, 14% out of that had serious criminal cases. These are all candidates for these 543 seats. So many were Karodpati, 31%, 6.23 was average assets of candidates, 6.23 crores. Let's look at the winners on the right side. Look at the winners. They'll tell you the story of where we are. And this is something which is very important. So, number of candidates, they themselves were not true representatives of Indians. म्हणजे बाबा 20 candidates having, म्हणजे 20%, म्हणजे कितें out of every 100, 20 criminals अशे गोंयांत तरी ना आनी खंयी आसचेनात. But still, candidates. But the winners पळयल्यार it is still shocking. Look at the winners. 46% were having some criminal case, out of which 31% are serious crimes. Serious crimes हाचो अर्थ कितें? Rape, murder, assault on women, all sorts of things, which are serious crimes. That's 31% निवडून आयल्या. So 170 representatives of in India will be having this. Please understand. This is what it is. Okay? Now look at the assets. Average assets of 6.23 crores per candidate. The ones who have won are having average of 46.34 crores. Okay? What does that indicate to you as intelligent people, members of intelligence here? That muscle power and money power rules the roost. म्हणजे जेकडे मसल पॉवर आहा आनी मनी पॉवर आहा, म्हणजे जे क्रिमिनल एंटिसिडंट्स आनी भरपूर पयसो आसा ते निवडून येतात. मग आमचे सारक्या मनशांक हें ना, स्कोप ना. This is what it indicates, isn't it? I mean, I'm just trying to share these things with you. My job is not to really criticize any political party. I'm not getting into any political party. I'm only talking about India as a country. Where are we heading towards? आता हे 31% winning candidates with serious criminal base. Criminals पळयात. National parties, state parties, unregistered, unrecognized party and independent. जिखल्यात ते. These are candidates. So I just shift. All these are candidates. So let's move further. Yeah, serious crime म्हणजे कितें you can read here on the right side there. All those offices. I forgot on some of the things. So these are the serious. And I'm going to share this with you. I'll share another 475 pages of the entire document which I have received from my Delhi head office last night at 12 o'clock. So I'm going to share it with you. I have prepared this PowerPoint after I received it last night. That's out of this thing. But yeah. Now you look at the comparison of criminal cases of MPs and decide for yourself where are we heading towards. Look at 2009, 2014, 2019, 2024. The तांबडे आसा पळय बार तो serious crimes. Yellow आसा ते criminal cases. See, I'm not really much bothered. I mean, one should be bothered, but not much bothered about that yellow thing, golden yellow, because it could be like, कोणे तरी 144 कलम तोडले, नाजाल्यार आनी खंय तरी झेंडा दाखयले आनी थंय मोर्चा काडलो, those kind of things. So you don't have to take it very this thing. It can be there. आनी कोणे तरी मागीर फायल केल्या by the, तो oppositionाचो कोण तरी आशिल्लो ताजेर केस गेली. Serious crimes पळयात. 14% in 2009. Okay, 21% in 14. 29 म्हणजे almost double झाले, more than double by within 10 years. 2019. Okay, and now see. These are not, I have not created this figure. These are the facts out of the sworn affidavit. Please understand how ADR generates this data. The sworn affidavits every candidate has to give before filing the nomination. That data, Supreme Court has given guidelines to ECI that data should be made available to ADR within 48 working hours. So we get this data from them. Okay, so these are not our creations or something. These are sworn affidavits. So if that affidavit itself is wrong, we can't say anything. But since they are sworn, we want to believe that they are correct. Okay, shall we go ahead? Wonderful. These are the number of candidates. I just put it in a tabular form, and I'm going to give this entire thing to you. You can choose and pick whatever you want to. Ah, these are state-wise, and that in between that this thing, that line which goes, talks about what it was last time. Now these states are having this many criminals or this percentage or whatever. Last time, say in the last election, Kerala had, for example, 55%. Then Telangana had 71% winners as this thing. So that graph doesn't even go beyond the grey color. That is below. Goa is not 0. Goa is 1. 1 out of 2. South Goa candidate has a normal criminal case, not serious. Under which article and under which police station? I have given you the data last time. If you require it, I will give it again. There are 2 police stations somewhere, Maina and Fatroda or somewhere, in case of South Goa winner. North Goa winner doesn't have any this thing, criminal case. Okay? So that data also I am having here. I can give it to you. I had given it last time as candidates, as contestants. Okay? Now the wealth. Wealth also is the same situation. With every passing election, see again, I will qualify. Karodpati per se is not a big issue, and I had qualified last time also. आजकाल पणजे सुद्धा एक तूं 3 बेडरूमचो फ्लॅट घेतला जाल्यार 1 कोटी परस चड जाय, which is a fact. Let's face it. पूण there are त्या खातीर आमी segregate केलां ह्या केपी more than 10 crores, more than 5 crores, and then there are different categories. See, like there could be ancestral property down the line. So Jyotiraditya Scindia has won, or someone else has won. They are princely guys, so they have come out with that kind of riches. So, but there are some guys who have made crores and crores within the last 5 years as repeating contestants or contesting guys. So those guys you have to look at. Okay? So here also percentage crorepati winning candidates are on an increase. Where it is going to end? These are like, SSC marks. Over time, those used to be 70%. And the distinction I learned about after 98, 99 we are started. So these are the things which are happening here also. We are now already at 93% crorepati's. These are party-wise percentage of crorepati's. So all these things I am going to give you, so I don't want to really make you this thing. State-wise percentage of crorepati, this thing. Now look at 10 crores and above. That orange color, 42% out of 543 are 10 crores and above. Okay? And that blue thing is 5 crores, blue, purple, and 1 crore to 5 crores. So look at that yellow thing, 42% are above 10 crores. And I don't think in India 10% of the population is having more than 42 crores. Isn't it? I mean, it's so simple to understand. I mean, we may have 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crores, up to 5 crores. Beyond that, the percentage drastically comes down. So, but our representatives are obviously not the true representatives. Because out of 543, suppose we have 42%, which is close to 200 odd. 42% Indians are not crorepatis and not having more than 10 crores. 227 are 10 crores and above. Okay, which is 42%. 5 crores and above, 103. So if you look at 5 crores and above, is 330, more than 50%. Obviously in India, we don't have 50% of the population having more than 5 crores. I'm sure all will agree with me. There won't be any this thing. And that's what it is. Yeah? Now we come to, after all this, we come to gender report, which is more of an academic thing. And ideally, everyone talks about 33% empowerment to the women. But what has happened is we have elected, Indians have elected 74 out of 543. Women are elected, which is 14%. The pink band in that pie chart. And 469 are men, 86%. That percentage of women has to increase, is the objective of just about every political party and of the government also. Women empowerment will start from here. And this is the overall education report. Okay? Nothing for me to talk about. So you can just run through it, and I'm going to give this thing to you. So there's nothing for me really to say anything, except that graduates and above are could have been bigger. Anyway. Right? Age group. Little better than what it used to be in good old days. We have a decent number under 70. Good old days, the qualification was, to be 75 years plus. So these days we feel it's little better. We are almost 450, almost 500 under 70. 499 to be precise, under 70. So, which is a little encouraging, it could be better. Okay? With that I am completing the thing. In case you have any specific questions, I am going to give this to you. I can pass it on to, I have WhatsApp number of Shoma, so I can transfer it to you, and then if you can share, or you can pick it up from here, with whatever technology that is required to be used. Candidate expenditure, they get 45 days to submit their expense statement. It will come only after what? We are at not middle of June. So maybe sometimes around 20th of July or something, 45 days after elections results are out. And that perhaps could be my last meeting with you officially as a ADR man, because I'm thinking of retiring very soon. It's not becoming very easy for me also to come down, although I come to Goa very often. I have too many things to look after.
Party-wise segregation केला तुम्ही?
Party-wise किती आहे बाबा?
Segregation केला, candidate.
हय सगळें केल्लें आसा. There are 493 pages, which you people can take it, straight away. I have in WhatsApp as well as in mail. As I told you, this has come to me last night around 12 midnight, and after that I started working on PowerPoint. My secretary in Bombay, I had to send it to her because it has come to me from Delhi. I sent it to her in Bombay. She processed it by 2 o'clock at night and sent it to me. I looked at it at 3 o'clock. And there were quite a few things which I needed to change in this, because a lot of issues were there. Because she is not from ADR or something, so she was just typing it the way it was, but she did a good job, a very good job. So my thanks to her, my thanks to ADR. And I got some of the information by 9:30 today. Okay, I wanted some information. I do have about the 2 winners from Goa. I have a little more information in case you require, but I think most of you know about it. So there is nothing much, from age to education to assets, liability, everything is known. So I don't think I have to say.
How many independents had contested in one?
Sorry?
How many independents had contested?
This election?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but the data will be there for sure. It is there. The data is there in one of those pages which has come to me from Delhi. Personally, I didn't feel it was very important for we as Goenka, so I didn't really take that on any of these things. But it is there. I will share it with you. You can just go through it, because it was too taxing for me, middle of the night, reading all 493 pages.
So over the course of 7 pages, the average percentage of women candidates was 10-11% based on your data. And here the winning is 14%.
14%, yeah.
What do you say? It's a significant improvement. And how would it be like now that they are introducing the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, then it will be much better.
Yeah.
So from the candidature to the elected representative,
it is very encouraging. Very encouraging. But as a typical this thing, since we are talking about 33% eventually at some point in time, empowerment to the women, 1/3 should be in the parliament, targets. So we have to reach that, and that's going to take time. It's good. See, you require both. You require women for sure, but you require quality, more than quantity, at least my personal perception, and I'm not talking on behalf of ADR. Quality also is very important in terms of how much you can participate in the discussions in parliament. Yeah.
What do you think about the 31% of criminal cases? They are having serious criminal cases.
Yeah.
So that has to be changed in at least for the next election, or the government has to take some steps?
I don't have specific comments. See, what happens also is that the serious crimes जे आसात न्ही ते of course is a issue. Normal crimes जे आसात न्ही ते sometimes even the ruling party, suppose the oppositionाचो जर खंय ताणें हें केलें धरणां केलें नाल्यार थंय आझाद मैदानाचेर बसलो हें केलें, that becomes a crime, and थंय FIR जर file केलो, and if it is registered by police, that becomes a crime. So he becomes a criminal. So we should be able to segregate between the two. म्हणून serious crimes ते वेगळे दिल्यात पळय. Serious crimes are associated with rape, murder, assault on women, all those kind of stuff. Loss to the exchequer, म्हणजे कितें GST फारीक केलें ना नाल्यार इन्कम टॅक्स भरूं ना तशें loss to exchequer, म्हणजे loss to state of India तशें. So those things are this thing, म्हणजे they are taken cognizance of. आतां ते निवडून येतात, आतां ते कोर्ट हें करूंक शकना. पार्लमेंट or the government itself should pass हें की बाबा जे पळय सिरियस क्रायमाचे आसात, more than 2 समजा, they should put some yardstick. तांणी बाबा कॉन्टेस्ट करपाचें ना बी अशें कितें तरी करूंक जाय. But it is very this thing, it is debatable issue. I can't talk on behalf of ADR on this. Yeah, of course. But that itself takes 10 years, 15 years. ताजे मदीं तो सगळे 3-4 इलेक्शन निवडून येवन So precisely, so you have to balance out. I have no idea what can be done, but that is for see, we can only talk about this kind of data. Okay, this is what is available. I mean, the only credit we can take is thanks to us, ADR, the affidavits are filed. Sworn affidavit. They were not there before 2002.
So 93% of the winning candidates are crorepati's. Do you think that money plays a major role still?
Yeah, maybe before you joined us, I talked about it, that what is happening, if you really look at this entire thing, serious crimes are on an increase. From 19%, 19 ताजे पयलीं कमी आशिल्ले, 14% आशिल्ले in 2009. 14, 19, 27, 31.
So
money and muscle power definitely play a role. It has played a role in Goa also during the last assembly election. But I don't want to get into the details because it will be out of syllabus. हे आता आमी उलयतात ते 543 चे.
ISS होल्डर
हय.
ते विनर कोण आसा आणि कितले कॅन्डिडेट्स
आसात मरे. हांवें तें दुसरें पळय आसा न्ही 400 पेजीसाचें, तातूंत सगळें आसा. I'll tell you who is the highest, if you want to know offhand. The highest asset value is 5878 crores, 5,878 crores. But his source of income, ताजें नांव डॉक्टर पम्मासानी चंद्रशेखर, गुंटुराक सावन निवडून आयलो तो. गुंटूर इज आंध्र प्रदेश. पम्मासानी चंद्रशेखर. Telugu Desam, Guntur. Now, he is a famous doctor in the United States of America. तो 6 महिने थंय रावता, 6 महिने हांगा रावता. आतां ते ताणें पयशे ते दाखयल्यात ते, इट कूड बी जेन्युइन हें न्ही की आतां थंय डॉलरांनी तो जोडटा आसतलो. ही इज अ कन्सल्टंट तुमचो. So we can't simply doubt him just because he is having 5,000 crores.
He was the richest candidate also.
He was the richest candidate. He is one. Okay. So he is the and that entire list is there. Don't you worry. I can share it anytime.
It's there on the section.
And plus, I'll just phone Delhi. they'll upload this entire 543 candidates on my Neta.
Already uploaded.
झालं because I told him that my meeting is at 10:30.
सर तुम्ही रिचेस्ट विनर सांगा रिचेस्ट लुजर कोण आशिल्लो रिचेस्ट लुजर
Richest loser is who was number 3 in the richest list as candidates from South Goa. Yeah. She was number 3 in the richest candidate list. So she has lost, or maybe even number 2 has lost.
No, sir. Number 2 is one.
Number 2 has won. I mean, offhand I don't remember.
Konda Reddy has one.
Okay. She is the richest who has lost. But again, I'm not sure whether we should really correlate. Pammasani Chandrasekhar is a big surgeon, well-known surgeon in the United States. So, sorry?
This is the first richest person he won, his doctor.
When did he go to USA?
Did he win? Did
He won. From Telugu Desam. From Guntur in Andhra Pradesh.
Chandrasekhar,
Dr. Chandrasekhar.
but you said he's in US?
6 months he is in US, 6 months he works in India in some hospitals in Hyderabad and around there. They do it. Like in Goa Medical College also, there are some doctors, I know, cardiac surgeons and all.
How Andhra Pradesh has become such a state of focus this time?
Sorry?
Andhra Pradesh has become the state of focus.
For me, all are same. As far as ADR is concerned, it doesn't matter. Candidate is a candidate, winner is a winner. Loser is a loser.
There's one thing I wanted to ask you. Does this system exist all over the world? Ink system?
I don't know of any other system. However, 25 countries, this ink is exported from India. United States takes it. Canada, France, UK, I don't know about other countries. There are some other countries also, someone in Africa, Kenya or someone. So,
If you talk in terms of electoral reforms, which everyone says are needed, then why do we need, this is so retrogressive and so idiotic it is inking, why don't we fight to get a receipt? I vote, I want a receipt. Like a consumer.
no. Yeah, why we need it? They may be having some reason why they want it. Because they don't want a repeat voter or some such thing. I have no idea what it is. It is not about you getting a receipt. They also want to know whether you already voted earlier in the day and then come again.
So that's progressive, isn't it? I have my evidence with me, where I voted, who I voted for, and that is very useful. More than this is very uneducated. We still think as if we are uneducated voters.
No, I can't comment on that because it's also a foolproof mechanism. Part of the foolproof mechanism is what I feel. So can't really comment on that.
So do you think independence, parties have more power? Do you think there is a need for independence to increase?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
So parties have more power and money. So do you think independence need to increase, to win independence, they don't have much power or money?
No, what exactly is your question?
Do you think independence, independence winning the seats is important for democracy? Other than
No, you say that independent candidates.
they don't have much power or attention like political parties. So do you think they can?
No, you are saying, are we giving too much importance to political parties vis-a-vis independents? Is that what is your question? I couldn't get your question. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, my question
Or maybe we can answer one to one. Maybe once we are through with this.
He's asking whether more independents are needed to contest.
I'm not sure. I can't answer this. I don't have a ready answer because there will always be pros and cons. An independent can be a very, very good candidate. An independent can be this thing. So, but if it is from party is supposed to choose. Whether they choose or not is a different story. But they are supposed to choose good candidates without crimes. Or voters should vote the guy who doesn't have crimes. Simple. If voters do that, then obviously, and if someone else wins, criminal doesn't win. Why criminals are picked up by political parties and they themselves get encouraged? Because the number of winners increases with every passing election. or crorepati. So they feel that, okay, if we have muscle power and money power, we can win. Chances are better.
But the BJP thinks that money is power, and it's
Sorry?
candidates for rich.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
I said the ruling party thinks that money is welcome, and so they choose rich candidates.
Sorry, I have no comment because I can't talk about any political party here. That's our policy. As a ADR, this thing, we don't talk about any political parties, whether someone else is taking more or this one is doing this, no. We give only data which is factual, which has come from sworn affidavits. So the affidavit doesn't say whether BJP's intention is something or Congress intention is something. No, the intentions don't come into picture. We only give facts and we leave rest of it for your intelligence to decide, or for the people. So suppose you are representing a particular newspaper or you are representing a particular channel. Your viewers or your readers should decide what it is. We don't try to tell them. We only give data and keep quiet.
So how many, like 171 out of 543 candidates are crorepati, like super crororepatis. In India, how many crororepatis?
10 crores plus? Obviously, I mean the common sense tells us that 10 crores plus can't be more than 5%. We look at XYZ, Ambani, Adani, or Mahindra and Mahindra, but how many are there? We are talking about 1.4 billion people. Tatun kitle astale? How many will be there?
So, there are 58 from the age bracket of 25 to 40. We call it as Yuva Netas.
Aye.
So is this improvement from the last time? And what do you think? It should improve, or how should it improve?
Very debatable subject. Whether your question becomes, I'll put it in different things. Whether youngsters will have better thinking power and in terms of development.
Out of the box.
But you can say, see, like maybe those who are 60s and 70s could also be having more experience to handle the situations, deal with the situations, and hence they can perform better is one of the ways of looking at it. म्हणून अजून आवय बापाक दिसता की हे भुरगे आसात म्हणून आमचे when we talk about our own children and we guide them. Just because we feel that we have more experience. So the same thing could be holding good for politicians also. Yeah, but some of the youngsters could be very, very good. Some elders, even after 55 and 60 years, still may be, their thinking may be limited.
So in Goa, this time money power didn't work.
Sorry?
In Goa, this time money power has not worked. So that is one good thing.
I can't comment on this because I don't know how much money is spent by the different political parties here. It doesn't depend upon the individual assets. I'm sorry, I would like to, this thing here. So your own assets vis-a-vis how much money is spent by a party. And not every time you can correlate that. Sometimes even if you spend 10,000 crores, you may not get elected. We have constituencies like that. Isn't it?
543 winning candidate.
Sorry.
543 winning candidate
आहे.
criminal cases percentage
दाखयली न्ही हांवें. So I showed you, see, serious crimes आसात पळय त्यो 14% आशिल्ल्यो 2009. 14% out of 543 or 542 तेन्ना आशिल्ले. ते जाले 14% in 2014. 2019 ते जाले 27% आनी आतां जाल्यार 31%. सो कशें आशिल्ले 14, 19, 27 काय 28 आनी 31 अशें हे 4 इलेक्शनां वाडत आसात. ते खंय सोंपतलें खबर ना. सो partly voters are responsible न्ही, कित्याक voters are, at the end of the day, voters are electing those people. कित्याक लागून ते voter तशे घालतात, I don't want to get into that subject because it's a huge subject. So, but the fact is, third votes for, because EVMs and others are not playing any of this thing. No one has complained this time, fortunately. So, it's a all-win situation this time. I think election commissioner is happy that there are no complaints.
वोटरला ब्लेम करण्यापेक्षा पार्टीच क्रिमिनल केस असलेले रिप्रेझेंट
ते कित्याक घालता सांग दवरतात कित्याक ते निवडून येतात म्हणून. तो जर निवडून येनासतलो ते कित्याक दवरतले?
This again stresses the importance of nota.
हय पूण नोटा
Notifying nota, not just nota,
Ah.
notifying nota.
नोटा टुडे इज आर्मलेस, ताका स्ट्रेंथूच ना.
Exactly, notifying nota is how significant does it play?
ऑलमोस्ट एवरी स्टेट
Goa is fourth.
या बरोबर 5 लाख 10 लाख नोटा असत पूण त्या नोटाक वालोर काय ना म्हणजे दे नो व्हॅल्यू.
तुम्ही म्हटले क्रिमिनल केसेस आणि सिरियस क्राईम
हय
पर्सेंटेज पळयल्यार ऑलमोस्ट 77% दोगांचे ऍड करतात
दोगांचे ऍड करप न्ही ते
ना
त्यो साद्यो केसीस आहा पळय म्हणजे समजा ते चड आहा न्ही तातूंतले सिरियस क्रायम वाले इतले सम टोटल ती ह्यान ते वेगळे वेगळे न्ही
ओके
जो पळय
टोटल क्रिमिनल केसेस आणि त्यातले मागीर
हा अशें
तशें घेतात मोर दॅन 70%.
ना 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 ना
Is there ever going to be electoral reforms as recommended?
दे शूड बी देर वी आर फॉर इट.
Petition was filed by ADR that counting each and every VVPAT slip. So how sensible it is?
I have no comments because I have a little different view personally. I mean, in person, as ADR,
It's
they have given
it's
their
again
view.
like going back to the ballot paper.
Regressive, as she was saying. Because paper, this thing, and तुका दिश्टी पडटा न्ही तो घालतना वोट करतना VVPAT you can see your this thing. हांगाय तशेंच आसतलें. So you can see तुगेलें वोट कोणाक पडना तें. So there is no issue there at all. Incidentally, I am coming from a constituency where the difference between the winner and the loser was just 48 votes. The least number of votes. So very often we say that our vote doesn't matter. आज बसनाल्या कितें जाता इलेक्शनाक वोट करपाक. सो शेकात घरा बसुया म्हणून.
There was a recounting was
48 votes. And
Recounting
the total vote, थंय total voters are 13 lakhs, 13 lakh. Vote केल्या ते 10 lakh. Okay. One guy got 4.52 something. Other guy got 48 votes. So, huh?
शिवसेना पार्टी
Where is this?
Bombay Northwest, which covers Andheri, Yogeshwari, Goregaon, up to Malad. No, up to Malad. Maybe little of Kandivali.
If there is one electoral reform you would advise, what is it? One important electoral reform. What
I would not want
suggest?
to. I would not want to have that.
Why not? You come from an agency which is doing all these things. Then you will work.
I have no idea what, because they have not spelled out to us. Our organization have not spelled out. So I'll check up with them and get back to you. But offhand, I don't want to like to comment without really checking up with my, headquarters. Although we are all with the same kind of power, but still, we usually make it a point on this kind of subject to check up with each other before we just pass on some comment, which could be
what
not
do you think, sir? Will nota be ever notified?
Ideally it should be, and we are of the firm opinion that it should be. But अजून करूंक ना, आता कित्याक करूंक ना, म्हणजे we only take solace in the sense that first time म्हणजे in the last about 15 years now, nota has come into limelight. पण nota म्हणटा तो is like absenteeism. ताका व्हडलेंशें हेंच ना पडलें.
Previously it used to be from 49 now.
हय. So I think there should be some this thing, about 10% बी जर जाली nota of the whole all the votes.
There is a judgment by Supreme Court which says right to vote also includes right not to vote.
बरोबर.
So given that it's a Supreme Court directive, don't you think nota should be given more power?
Should be. I personally feel. These are my personal
It's the death of
opinions.
democracy, no? Isn't that the death of democracy?
Yeah.
It will go give a right not to vote.
Right to vote includes right
I
not
mean,
to
you're
vote.
negating the whole idea of
Yeah,
democracy
then
then.
people will then they
It is so
influence
dangerous.
people and stay at home,
It's-
stay at home.
It's
They
basic.
can do that.
It's basic. If I don't want to vote for any of the candidates.
Is this being recorded?
Yeah.
Okay, good. No issue.
It is so
It's
useless, no? It is like nota is so useless, it doesn't contribute anything.
That's what.
No, it has.
Waste of time.
पांडुल्य कन्नड सर सर
No, I lost your number. No, my number is all for Chandra.
Yeah.
आयचे प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स कित्याचेर बेज जालें ऑन वॉट बेज
Today's press conference was essentially based on giving the details to the press and the electronic media of Goa about the winners, all 543 winners of the Lok Sabha election. Because I was here, I think on 6th of, not 6th, sometimes by 29th of April perhaps, to give you the details of the candidates across the country and in Goa specifically. 16 candidates were there in Goa. So I came at that point in time, which I normally do. We bring in the data of all the candidates to you, and also when the elections are over and everything is down and dusted, we come back to tell you, look, what's happening in the country. We have these kind of winners. So that's our objective. So we only work on 3 parameters: education, assets and liabilities, and criminal record, if any. And we started our activity, ADR started its activity way back in 1998. We were about 6 professors of IIM Ahmedabad, and we were students those days in 1998. So about 5-6 students and about 5-6 professors came together, because those were the days when we had Bofors and other things happening in the country, and there was no answerability. So we decided, किती तरी करूंक जाय. We say in Konkani, किती तरी आमी करूंक जाय. So किती करप, we were not very sure. So we caught hold of some advocates of High Court. They said, Baba, the best thing is you file a PIL in Delhi. And you as individuals can't file because it will not have much say. So best thing is you form a group or association or something, and then you file a PIL, it will have a more weightage. So we felt yes, because this is something genuine. We decided to go to Delhi and file a PIL. We had to contribute ourselves those days from our own salaries or money that we made from whatever from whatever income that we had, and we filed a PIL. Fortunately, we had an advocate who didn't charge us any money, because he said that this is something in the interest of the country. Let's get going on that. High Court, obviously, Government of India went to Supreme Court, saying that this is personal information. How can we give the information about education or a criminal record or how much asset? This is all personal. This thing, and the other outside world did not have this information at all. Supreme Court, in its wisdom, reiterated the stand which was taken by High Court and said that if you want to be public servant, you better give all your information so that the voters have informed choice. So this was very, very clear. When Supreme Court gave this verdict, the entire when the party in the government, party in the opposition, everyone, perhaps all 543 members went to the president, saying that this is not on. It's too much of this thing. President, we met President, good old days. Dr. Abdul Kalam was the president. We had some colleagues of ours who were working under him in DRDO. It helped. He gave us, to start with, 15 minutes. The meeting lasted for 4 hours. That was the kind of interest that he took. He said, I can send it back, this kind of proposal, to the government or to the parliament, but if they make the modifications and this thing and send it back to me, I have no way to really say no. I will have to give it my concurrence and say, okay, it's fine. We were not very sure how to go about, but ultimately we went to Supreme Court. He said, this is going on for years. This is contempt of court. You have given a directive and this is not happening. Supreme Court, after a lot of deliberations, said, yes, contempt of court. And from then, 2002, August 22nd or something, government decided, yes, we should have the affidavit signed before someone contests the elections. Before that, before 2002, they were not there. So largely because of our effort, perhaps, the things happened and we started having affidavits. They were modified over the period of time because we gave a lot of feedback to ECI. Election Commission of India is supposed to do that. They have done that and done it well. So that's how it is. And then what we do now, the Supreme Court has clearly told ECI, Election Commission of India, that within 48 hours it should be put on the website and also give a copy to ADR. Now, moment we get this copy, we prepare our this thing. We have the software for handling this in Delhi. Our headquarters are in Delhi. And by virtue of me being from Goa, I'm going to, So they said, "Arey machine, you don't put him." So we don't have big funds and also we just work within our limited resources and do this activity.
So, yeah, regarding the criminal record, what
Yeah.
you said, day by day, every election it is increasing, and now the serious criminal record is become 31%.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about on this? If there is some cases is pending in the court, so it has to be moved in the fast track or something like that, and give a decision
Ideal,
to the
very ideal that especially the kind of case, especially those who guys are either out of this 543, then those cases should be fast forward. Otherwise, what can happen is if they are going to last for 10 years or 15 years or something, the guy will anyway finish 5 years of his in Lok Sabha, and next elections he is not assured also whether he is going to contest or win. So it should happen, and it should be very loud and made public so that people